Yes, good people of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria and the world at large. It's yet another fantastic edition of your program, The Promise, coming to life like financial rain on NTA Channel 12 in Europe. My name is Edo Man, the son of John, and it gives me great delight anytime needed to do it for you. On today's edition of the program, we're going to inform, entertain, and then educate you adequately. Talking about information and education, I have a business mogul in town, one man who has made marks in the science of time as far as business is concerned. He's a property consultant. He has made marks here in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, and then we believe God that sooner than later he's going to get to many places. He's my guest today on our program to talk about his achievement, what he's doing in his firm. Ladies and gentlemen, join me. Welcome to the program, Architect Chris Umoren. Is the MD, Stainerz Properties Ltd. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
Nice and refreshing to have you on our program today.
Thank you.
All right, sir. For the benefit of those who may be watching you for the very first time, I would like you to take us through your humble days while you were growing up back in the days when you were playing in the sun.
Growing up, I grew up in New York, Akwa Ibom State, and I think I did my nursery school here, my secondary schools here. I was at Stainerz Nursery School, Brook Street. I attended Stainerz Properties Ltd, and then I went further to St. Mary's College in Edinburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I'm growing up. I'm going to be very brief with it.
Okay.
So that's that for my nursery and secondary school.
So, growing up then, as in, was life very fair with you? You were brought up in a humble background or in a well-placed family?
I was brought up in an average family, let me put it that way. And that was before I lost my parents. So,
both parents?
Yes.
So you're an orphan?
Yeah.
But I'm the class within the orphanage class.
I am, but most people doesn't know this, and I really talk about it.
All right. So your university days, you went through university?
Yeah. I was at the University of Europe, studied architecture.
Wow.
Yeah. So I graduated to 8th session.
So of all the courses in university, why did you choose architecture?
As a matter of fact, after my secondary school, I think our SS3, when it was time for us to write JAM then, most of my classmates wanted to go for medicine and surgery. It was very popular then. Everybody wanted to be a medical doctor. That was the only profession that was very popular then. And I almost wanted, but I said, okay, let me go to a different field. And as a growing kid, I've always been very, very conscious of the things that I need and who I want to be till now. So I told myself I want to be different, and everybody mustn't be a doctor. So in the area of outside medicine and surgery, which other profession is unique, and it was architecture. And then I don't know. I think then we used to have this booklet that you get to know more, different courses in the university. So I went through, and then I saw something, but I said, okay, this one has to do with designing of houses. I think it's unique, and I like things that makes me to think. I said, okay, let me do. And then I didn't used to hear of anything architecture. It wasn't a popular profession like that. And so that's what made me to choose architecture.
So when you came out of university, your sojourn in the streets? Yeah,
it was difficult, and I graduated in New York, went for a set in Kano, and then after service, normally it was very, very difficult. And then now you even have places or some firms, companies like Stainerz that can, put hands in, take one or two graduates off the street, off the labor market. But then
it wasn't.
There was none.
Okay.
I checked around, moved around, There was a particular incident that I was harassed, when I went to one of these construction companies, and then the outside man there wasn't even educated, was very violent and chased me away. So okay, I think today is gonna really, motivate me to do something to change this narrative around. I know how I feel right now, so I want to be an employee of labor.
Okay.
So people won't get to face what I've just faced.
Okay. Alright, if you just joined us, the program on air is The Promise, and I am the Dome, the son of John and your anchor. And on today's edition of the program, I'm playing host to architect Chris Umoren. He's the MD, Stainerz Properties Ltd. Fine gentleman, anytime, any day. One man who has met maths in terms of property consultancy. Now I come back to you, sir. Stainerz Group of Companies. What gave birth to it? What gave rise to it?
Okay, starting Stainerz Properties was a very, very difficult but very bold move, because life as an orphan, like I told you, hasn't really been that rosy, but I believe in possibilities. I believe that God can make everything possible for you if you pray and work towards achieving it. And then, like I said, I have always wanted to contribute my quota, to society. How do you do this? You can't do this as a civil servant, right? You'll be limited, right? It depends on the choice of life goals and path. And I said, okay, let me see how I can work, gather resources, and then put up, a company that can employ people, take graduates off the streets. And then that's how, by the special grace of God, I was able to birth Stainerz Properties Ltd. At that time, that was 2015. 2015 was the birthing of Stainerz Properties, and then the company was into property management, design and construction of houses, basically property management, and the real estate. If I look behind, there were very, very few property firms in Akwa Ibom State then, as at 2015, that were into what we were doing. And then I still recall when we started as Stainerz Properties, so many people, because we didn't have companies that were really running that time, so people didn't believe it was going to stay long till this moment. And so, by the special grace of God, after 5 years, I thought, as the leader, as the man that God has blessed with a vision, that we should, navigate into other subsidiaries. And so that's what led to Stainerz Group. Now, these subsidiaries we've gone into oil and gas sector, or we have stations at Oreba, we have Atikotik Bene, so we now have Stainerz Petroleum. We've gone into the petroleum sector. We have the oil and gas, and then we have the investment. We give loans to people to do business. Like I said, the drive, the vision is about touching lives. It's not about accruing wealth to yourself. And as you're growing as a company, how do we reach out to the masses, to the public, and touch lives? There are persons that are trying to start up a business just like we did, and they don't have funds. I
was about coming to that, because starting, and if someone sees your office now, one would fear, you just rose from maybe grace to grace, not from grace to grace, as it's normally said. So, did you start with humongous amount?
I started Stainerz with nothing. When I say nothing, our former office, there was nothing there outside the fact that I labored to generate the rent that we paid for the space, the former office. But then, so we started from nothing, and then we believe in God, as each day passes, for God to provide one thing, the second, another thing, and that's how we started. We didn't wait to have all the money to do the things that we needed to do.
Okay.
And so that's why I tell people that for you to go far in life, you mustn't wait for you to have everything. You can start with the little that you have, and then grow to the next phase of life.
So how about the discouraging metamorphosis? I know when you thought of starting Stainerz, some of your friends, colleagues may have told you, hey, the journey you are back about embarking upon, and how would you maneuver the challenges? So were you carried away by those challenges?
When we started this interview, I had mentioned that when we started Stainerz, that there were some persons that because then 2015 now, we had very few companies around Akwa Ibom State. So I remember this friend that used to come around me. He said, after some months, I think after 1 year, he said, I pray that God should sustain this vision. That there are many people that sit down with them and they are saying that it's a normal thing. After 1 year, we'll not
they go into extinction.
Yes.
Okay.
He said that to me. He said, I sit down with people and this is what they say. I don't know if he was part, but he was the one that told me that. So, and I told him that this company will stay for the next 2 decades and nothing will move the company. And we are growing. By the special grace of God, we are approaching a decade. I think we are 6 years.
6 years from 2015 to 6 years now.
6 years. So the next 4 years we should be up to a decade, and then within these 6 years we've expanded, we've grown bigger into subsidiaries. We're into real estate. We have properties. We've even started the construction of Stainerz homes, our own investment that is going to also help in the housing sector in Akwa Ibom State. How the company's project we've gone into real estate. So after just 6 years.
So now talking about oil and gas, how do you operate? You have gas stations?
Yeah, we have two. We have Antirep and Kotigbene. Those are the 2 retail stations that we have for now. Okay. We are still hoping to expand. We just started that this year. The beginning of this year. Okay. We're not even up to 1 year in that subsidiary yet.
Okay. And the petroleum sector?
Yeah, the same. We started January too.
Okay.
So we are still growing that aspect.
Okay.
Yeah.
In all of this, have you gotten support from government? The government of Akwa Ibom State?
No, we've never. We've just been growing through private patronage.
Have you applied to government? Have you worked?
We've done that a couple of times, and if you understand how what it takes, to build a company from the scratch independently, then you wouldn't really want to put out your energy too much on the things that that you're not setting up. So we didn't set up the company with expectations from government. It was a vision set up to even help the society. And then so I think a few years ago we did that, but nothing really came up. We're hoping that maybe someday the government will recognize what we are doing in Stainerz Group. Because if you look around, we have, I don't know if you've seen the number of staff we have. I was attending to the Eket manager. We have another branch in Eket where all you guys were waiting. So we have so many staff in Eket. We have almost 17. I don't know if the government really sees or understands what we are doing, but we are doing a whole lot to help governments in the aspect of employment.
In terms of the properties management, you have lawyers, you have...
we have 2 lawyers in the company that are working here. We have 2 lawyers. But at this point, even if you want to Google with your phone, you will see that Stainerz Properties is a leading property or estate management company in New York.
Now let me come to the aspect of loans and investment. Loan in some aspect, in some sort of understanding, it is reserved for the banking sector. So how come you are going into that?
Yeah, the idea about that is to, like I said, is to see how we can touch lives. Okay. Yeah, we partner with Ministry of Finance under their micro credit scheme, and we have the license. So we give out soft loans, to people, from 500, 200, 100, 1 million naira to trusted customers, entrepreneurs, and there are people that we are certain that they are going to use that money and start a business. Now the idea is, like, we have a branch office in Abuja, and most times when I'm in Abuja, people see Akwa Ibom State as a civil service state. Take it or leave it. And as a person, how do we suppress this? People see Akwa State as a political state. How do we suppress this? And so I think it's just my idea, my vision that as a person, let me use this platform, let me use this company and help government in that aspect. Okay, create an establishment that can employ people and then expand into subsidiaries. And I think the even 70 that I mentioned, we've not even included people that are working at the petroleum stations. These are people that didn't have anything doing. They're working there, they're earning salaries every month through Stainerz Group, through Stainerz Oil and a subsidiary of Stainerz Group, Stainerz Oil and Gas. And so now, when, as a society, we are trying to tackle crime and all of that, what leads to crime? Unemployment. A young man who doesn't have what to do has to eat. How does he get food? When he doesn't have money, when he's not working, he doesn't earn salary, how does he eat? He will want to look for a way, shortcut to eat. And what's that shortcut? To snatch phone, to steal, to rob. And so if you can open subsidiaries, open up business places and absorb these people and give them what to eat, we will have less crime.
We talked about going into homes, as in renting houses, building houses for people to live. How would you achieve this? Have you acquired lands for this particular?
Yeah, we have. We have some landed properties, and then the one that we are building at the moment, we also bought the land, and then we are developing the property. We are at an advanced stage right now. Yeah, so on completion, it's going to really help in the accommodation in Akwa State.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who are the expected?
Medium class.
Okay.
Medium class.
They just pay later to connect.
Yeah.
Okay. You've been in existence for 6 years now. The way forward of Stainerz Group of companies.
Want to raise our own homegrown eatery that will compete with the likes of Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
So that's going to be a very, very big project. Because now the idea is with Stainerz eatery, we are going to create more employment opportunities for the youth of Akwa State and other states too. And then it's going to also help on because sometimes if you look around as a state, the businesses that are ongoing in Akwa State, who are the owners? Outsiders. What if they decide to they decide tomorrow to fold them or something? We really have indigenous businesses now. Yeah. So that is the idea. Let's have our own, set up a thing like that and then get it running and then employ the youth.
I'm even surprised because on completion of your studies, you would have said, okay, let me go into politics. Most of an average Akwa Ibom youth feels that politics is the way we thought. So for you to have gotten that idea of going into an establishment like this, thumbs up to you, sir.
Thank you. But I would say, if we all want to look at politics that way, or everybody that graduates from school, wants to go into politics and then have a life or live a life, his life through politics, or not have life outside politics. Everybody mustn't go into politics. And I don't know, just the way we've made it to look like. Normally in other countries, private sectors, private businesses support the political or the public officers. That's how it's done, because they don't make the political system there that lucrative. It's a place that you go in to serve people. They don't make it that lucrative. That's why the private sectors, the private business people, put in money to support them with their mission and whatever they are doing there. Okay. Now, in Nigeria, it's different, but I feel that we should have life outside politics. Everybody mustn't go into politics. We should see politics as a platform to help, platform to affect lives, to touch lives. If we begin to see political positions, offices like that, we would have a better society where you go in there, you're more conscious of your people, the things you're going to do for the people, the way you're going to alleviate the sufferings and all of that, not for you to go there and then enrich yourself. And so that's how it's supposed to be. So I feel that as youths, young people growing up, we can have our own life, build something extraordinary, build a company, build a business place that can help. It can complement whatever they are doing in politics. It can help them.
Okay.
Yeah, like I have so many friends in politics. We can harness this energy and then for a better society.
So what if in the future maybe your people say, oh, come and just represent us in this aspect politically? Would you go?
No, probably if I'm done touching lives in the private sector, because I feel like, and if I may even ask you, look around Akwa Ibom State, how many established companies that are doing very well at the moment that are owned by an Akwa Ibomite? How many? Check around. So I believe that God gave me this vision for a purpose and to touch lives. So if I abandon them and go in there at this point, it will be a good thing. And then we shouldn't make the political space too crowded. We shouldn't make it too crowded. If we have a few millionaires, billionaires doing well in business, we won't have everybody wanting to go into politics.
Away from politics, we come back to Stainerz Properties. Now, the 6 years that you've been in existence, the properties you've managed, how has it been? Like any fracas?
No, we don't have that. We don't have that. Our motto is redefining real estate, and that motto drives us. That's what's really driving us. I feel that whatever you must do, you should do it very well. As the leader, I've mentored my staff, I've coached them to perform in a very, very extraordinary way. Stainerz is about redefining real estate. I don't know that company, but I think Stainerz is managing most properties in Uyo. I don't know if you move around, you must have been seeing our signages here on so many places. So we are managing almost, I think, the best properties around Uyo. Most clients appreciate what we're doing, and then we are even getting more properties. Okay. I would say that people, clients, investors who are looking for a reliable firm to handle their investments, to hand over the investments, for management, they should look at Stainerz, because we are a company that has been built for 6 years with transparency, integrity, and we don't joke with those two.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So where is your office address in case they would want to contact you?
12 G Street. This is the head office.
Okay.
We have 40 Caterer Road, Ekit, that's in Ekit. We have 492 towards Benson Crescent, so Tako, Abuja.
Okay. Any phone line in case they would want to contact you?
The office phone line 090
okay.
96 96 90.
Okay. Please, you're going to take it slowly.
090
okay.
90 again 690 690.
Okay.
That's the official company's line.
All right. Your parting message to the people of Akwa Ibom State, Nigerians, and whoever is watching you at this moment?
Okay, I want the state government to at least appreciate what we are doing, and then help us in any way they can, so that we can continue to touch lives and help the society also. We hope that investors get to know more about us, clients get to know more about us, because there are some persons, there are so many investors that are looking for reliable companies to work with, to invest with, to hand over their project or their investment to what they don't have. So Stainerz group of companies, Stainerz Properties is that company, especially in the real estate. If you want to invest in real estate, if you want to go into rental real estate, that's to build for tenants. Stainerz, from acquisition of land, building of the projects, and then renting, marketing, we are the best in that field in Uyo for now.
All right.
Then we are contesting with that top ones around Nigeria.
We are so proud that you are a person, one man who is from Akwa Ibom State, who is ready to make marks, who is ready to change the narrative of Akwa Ibom State, being a civil service state to a state whose people are productive in business and other things aside from politics. Many thanks, the MD, Stainerz Group of Companies. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having decided to descend from your IOS to be guest on our program.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate the time, and I do hope that when next we call on you, you will not latch us.
I will.
All right.
Thank you.
To you viewers out there, many thanks for having selected to watch today's edition of the program. We're going to be back on your station same time next week. Do not forget that God is not late. He only comes later just to make it the latest. Whatever situation you find yourself, don't despair, don't disband. It shall be well. And remain yours truly, Edoma, the son of Jonah. Bye-bye.